Today we have a new friend joining on this platform. Her name is Rupinder. Rupinder is very passionate about her English skills, whether it's pronunciation, whether it is in terms of public speaking. She's been doing really well, engaging the students, ensuring that they work on their English so that they can do well in their career. A lot of us, including me, not very good at English. But yeah, I learned my English after I started my work career, but I had a lot of challenges. So we definitely need people like Rupinder who can help out and connect with people, ensure that they work on these skills at the right time. At this particular age, can I learn English? I might not be focused, but during college days, I think there are a lot of students who should work on it, especially people who are willing to go abroad, get their education abroad, overseas education and all that. So thanks a lot, Rupali, for joining in. She is the founder of Vision Upgraded. We will get to know more about this particular service, but Rupali, we would now to know about रूपाली कहाँ से है, क्या पसंद है रूपाली को, and why did you start this particular mission? So I of Vision Upgraded. So over to you.
Thank you so much, Ravi ji, for giving me this opportunity to have this talk with you. And suddenly you switched from Rupinder to Rupali. So I was very happy.
Yeah, sorry.
That's my nickname. And Ravi ji, I'm Rupinder. I belong to Punjab and born and brought up in Ludhiana. And after marriage, I came here to a small town in Hoshiarpur district. The name of this town is Mukeria. And I am just a simple person, like the way you're seeing me. I don't like formalities or anything. I love music. I love nature. I love reading books, and I love the activities like skating, car
Oh,
racing, and parkour. I hope you are aware of parkour, and have you ever tried it?
no, no. What is that? Is that a game?
From one building to another. You must have.
Seriously? You
Yeah.
do that?
I have never done that, but this is my dream. But I watch a lot
Oh,
of
wow.
parkour
Yeah.
videos and all. I love to watch biographies of different people. So my likes and dislikes, they keep on changing. Switching from one aspect to another. Sometimes I like Jagjit Singh's ghazals, and sometimes I'm on rock music. So all these things. So, as far as my educational background is concerned, I completed my schooling in Ludhiana, and then I pursued my graduation in English honors. After that, I went to do my bachelor's in education,
Mm.
and then after that, I completed my master's in English literature.
Wow.
And then, just after completing the education, immediately I switched to my professional front and started my career as a lecturer on ad hoc basis. I was teaching students, pursuing bachelors of arts
Mm.
and like BSc and even BBA. So it was a kind of mix up of students. So that was a great start to my teaching career because I met different types of students. It was not a normal, boring teaching learning going on in the class. It was very interesting sessions.
You have
And then
students
later
from
on,
art and you have students from who want to get into business.
yes, and then even sciences. So my own knowledge, it was also improving regarding those streams. And then later on, I joined a school as a teacher for primary wing. Started as a class teacher of Five Roses. I still remember the name of my class and section. That is so dear to me, Five Roses. And then, with the passage of time, I took up different responsibilities at school level as a teacher, and then got promoted as a coordinator for middle wing. I was a coordinator for grades 6 and 7. And like the usual English teachers of school, I was given task of writing the scripts for school programs and training the children for stagecraft, making them perform on the stage and bringing out the best in each child. So
Okay.
all these things I've done, and I've always tried that my lessons need to be very interesting. I don't like that I'm like a teacher standing in front and my students just looking into their books or sometimes at
True.
me and They cannot question me or something. My students, like, they used to question me a lot. They still question me. Yeah.
So they feel comfortable when you're teaching. That's
Yes.
important.
So along with this, my pursuing this Bachelor of Education, I got married and I came here to Mukeria. And then I completed my post graduation after marriage. And then later on, I went on family way. And so this is a beautiful journey so far. And then I thought of, bringing out the best, whatever I have learned in all these years, and doing something which provides me that pleasure to the soul, actually. So I know this thing that training students for something is my forte, like training students for public speaking, stage. This is my forte. So I wanted to do something in this field. So last year during this COVID break, I would say, I explored different things that whether I should do this or that. But ultimately, I realized that no, actually, my forte is to train people and English language. So I just came up with this startup called Vision Upgraded.
Why
So
did you choose
basically,
that name, Vision Upgraded?
yeah, sorry.
Why did you choose that name, Vision Upgraded?
This is what I was about to tell you that big vision, upgraded domain. This is the motto of my institute. I believe that if your vision is big, if you are that kind of a visionary, you can think big, then of course, naturally your domain is going to be upgraded. It's an organic process. The bigger you think, the bigger places you reach. If you feel that no, this is a small town, I cannot do this, I cannot do that, then of course you'll get stuck over there only, last crying only. But then if you feel that no, with the advent of internet and everything, nothing is impossible in today's world. So this is how, while sitting in Mukeria, I'm talking to you in Hyderabad.
Good one. Nice knowing you. But पूरे introduction में the only thing which I could imagine Rupinder is a person who wants to jump from one building to another building. So
Yeah, yeah. I love doing this. Even in my dreams, I jump from one place to another. I
बचपन में
just
we
love.
had this particular movie in Telugu where Sridevi ji, jumps from, tries jumping from one building to another building, and nowadays it's become passion, and a lot of those social media reels or feeds have this particular thing as a activity, as a sport. It's no more an obligation or कोई चोरी करने के लिए jumping नहीं. This is more of a sport nowadays.
I play a lot with my sons. I'm blessed with two adorable sons, and I play a lot with them. And it's something normal for me. I even roll on the ground with them on the mat, of course.
So you're a super mom for those two kids.
Yeah, so my son was actually telling me a few minutes ago that I want to sit along with you during the interview, and I told them that मेरी मम्मी कितनी naughty है. I told him that no, you will sit along with me.
So, Rupinder, there were a lot of options and, a lot of things you would have done. But why did you choose to, instead of taking up a job, why did you choose to do this particular startup and, help students out?
Raviji, actually, what I believe or what I have experienced in all these years, when you work for a particular management, they have their own set of beliefs, and there you are, there are obligations. You can do this, you can do just that. You have to make the management happy. You have to make your managers happy, your heads happy. And sometimes you want to do something, you have confidence on yourself, and you are sure about your idea, but the other person, they have their own set of beliefs and all that. But then after working for 8 years in a particular school and doing so much, then I thought that now I need a change. And then having my own business, now whatever I want to do for the society or whatever I want to do for the students, I can do it well over here in my own business than I was doing in that school job. So that is why I just thought that instead of taking my files and my resume to now another school and redoing the same things again, I should be having my own institute and I should be following my own passion.
Okay. Do you feel that there is a need? I mean, if you ask me, I've observed that there are a lot of students out there, Joe, they take English as a subject which they have to just pass, मतलब इसमें pass हो जाए. For example, engineering student है, or somebody, some subject which he is specializing in, let's say sciences or computers, they put a lot of focus on that, and languages are something which they just have to pass. By the time they come out of the college, or they're graduating out or post graduating out, then they realize that, yeah, I did not get a chance to improve on my communication skills, and I'm not even ready to face an interview with good communication skills. What I mean, this is my observation, but what do you feel? Is this?
Actually, because when you are a student of science, or you are somebody who's pursuing mathematics or something, then there's a lot of burden of all these heavy subjects. And you feel that, okay, English is still language. You just have to pass it out. Even till grade 10 or 12, grade 10, I would say. Like, if you ask me also, I used to study for science, math, social science, and other subjects. And when it came to English, Hindi, and Punjabi examination, I would say, oh, ye to aata hi hai. What is the big deal about? But that later on I realized that no, I have this passion for English literature. The same way, like for students who are pursuing science or maths, they feel that no, they need to focus on all those subjects. But later on, after going through those heavy doses of science projects and experiments, when they read fiction and these novels and all stories, then they feel a kind of relief. Then this love for this language comes, whether it is Hindi, English, or any other language. Then, of course, this then they realize it later, quite late in their life, that no, I would have read so many books related to this language. Because my own students, they have told me this thing. There is one of my students, she is pursuing medical, but she told me that I want to become a writer, and I want to, go into this field only. I want to have a doctorate in English literature. So I said, you are you're a medical student. Why literature? She said, no, when I read literature, then I feel a kind of relief. So, yes, I mean, this actually is a confusion of mind. You're pursuing something because you want a good job, you want to become an engineer or something, but then this language, that this is not the main subject for me. This is just a part of my life. But I would say that everybody should try to work on their communication skills, because once you know how to communicate your ideas to the other person, or to a group of people, or even to one individual, you get that confidence, and that is very important. And really, communication skills are really very important. Otherwise, you just keep on losing your confidence, and then whenever there are seminars or something, when people bring the mic in front of you, you just shy away or something. Then there are certain people who would just mesmerize the audiences with their talks.
Good. So, friends, I have a short, movie about the journey of Rupinder. So, and we have a lot more questions to know more about Rupinder. So, before that, just watch this particular movie. Super family pictures, super fun. So we can see super mom in action in these pictures.
Thank you so much.
Rupinder, how do you manage between family? As a woman, you'll have a lot of responsibility. Manage the kitchen, manage your three kids, including your husband. Then manage your in-laws. Then managing this particular startup. How do you juggle? How do you manage all these things?
Raviji, to tell you, like honestly, that during all these years of my job at the school, I had actually forgotten my own self, and I was on the path of even ignoring my own family and my children because I was so much like I was engrossed in all the work, would return late at home because I was a coordinator, so all these meetings and all. But then when I took a break from this job, then I realized that no, this is not the core. Actually, I need to concentrate on the family. So you won't believe in all these months spent like playing with my children, spending time with my family. I'm so fortunate to have a very cooperative family. My mother-in-law, father-in-law, my brother-in-law, sister-in-law, my nephews, they all are very loving and very cooperative. And even for before this interview, they were more excited about it than me. I was thinking that there is a lot of time for it to start. They were, no, it's the time it's going to start anytime. You need to be ready. So I guess now I have learned this thing, and I would suggest this to all the people who are watching it or listening to this conversation that work, yes, of course, it's a part of life, but it is not life. So you should not be making it the topmost priority. Your family is your topmost priority, and working for for longer hours in a stretch and ignoring your own children, that is not going to bring any kind of satisfaction. So one must devote time to the family also. And now, how your other question was, how do I manage? Yes, of course, with the support of my family, I'm able to manage the things now.
Super. So, Rupinder, tell me one thing. When it comes to learning, a lot of people have questions about English. How do I start? Uh, where should I start? Can I learn online? What are the books I need to go through and all that? So, are you providing any help for them? There might be workshops and training programs and all that, but anybody who's got just some questions, so how do you support them?
I'll tell you about my own personal journey in learning of English language. What I observed from my own all these years of struggling to learn English language and all, that I started with reading newspaper.
Hmm.
It might seem cliche to you that okay, everybody says read newspaper and all that, but I used to read newspaper, and you won't believe it's something funny also that I was more interested in news related to obituary.
Okay.
I would read them.
What are they looking for?
That like who all are upset with this. They had mentioned down over there, this and this person, the son and the daughter-in-law of the particular person, so we pay homage to that person. I started with that kind of a reading, and then later on it was earlier, it was an obligation because father told that you have to read newspapers, so we used to get Indian Express, English newspaper. We were more interested in Hindi newspaper, but then father told that English newspaper you must have. Then, starting from all these tidbits of newspaper, then the Saturday Sunday editions,
Hmm.
they excited me a lot because they were
More
uh,
colorful, more
yeah,
entertainment.
related to movie stars and all that. But gradually, actually, I realized myself that I was more interested in reading editorials and
Hmm.
articles, and then I would see that after reading that, I was aware of all the things, and once the family, the elders would have some kind of conversation, I would also contribute a little bit into that, and they would get impressed by this. Oh, you know this thing, the girl knows this. So that brought a kind of sense of pride. So reading newspaper helps a lot. And then if we go by the four steps of learning a language, like listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So listen to a lot of programs related to that language. Suppose you want to learn English. We are talking about English.
Hmm.
So I listened to a lot of, and I watched BBC News, CNN News. And then nowadays, I suggest my students that they must go through the podcasts, BBC podcasts, and even they can listen to the original, the native radio stations of UK, USA, Canadian, and Australian. I suggest them. So they need to go because that is the authentic English. if they want to really pursue this language. So listening a lot to the native speakers, then of course trying to speak it with somebody who knows the language, or who knows the language a bit better than you. After that, reading helps a lot. There is no denying the fact that reading is the most important thing if you want to learn any language. Once you are into this, when you know a little bit of alphabets and letters of that language, you must go for a lot of reading. And then ultimately comes the writing stuff. And moreover, I'm a fan of Peterson Jordan. And if you listen to him, he always suggests that reading actually, if you don't read, you're not going to get any kind of ideas in your mind. So earlier we were talking about communication skills. Suppose somebody wants to know something from me, I must have those ideas in my mind. I must have some kind of thought process going on. And from where does this thought process come? It comes from reading, the reading you have done of the articles or some kind of books or something. Earlier people used to read for pleasure a lot. Nowadays that tendency has decreased, and we are more into watching videos, small instances or something. But yes, reading helps a lot. So if somebody wants to learn English language and is a bit confused about the things, there is nothing to be confused about. You just need to listen to the podcast, listen to the news, listen to the programs of that particular language, and then you start to speak it a little bit with somebody, and then you need to read a lot, articles and everything related to that language. And naturally, you will feel that you're now able to speak properly as well as write in a proper way.
Super. Does watching movie with subtitles, like, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and all the movies now have subtitles. That's a blessing. But does that help?
I would not suggest watching a movie with subtitles to a beginner.
Okay.
If you are the one who wants to, when you go for this IELTS testing for
Mhm.
listening, then you have to listen to the British accent, or most probably British accent. Sometimes it can be American or a Canadian accent or something, but British accent. So if you watch the British accent with subtitles, then of course this is not going to help you. When you're a beginner, try watching it without subtitles. Yes, of course you will get a layout that no, I should watch, I should have the subtitles down and it's easy to comprehend. But if you really want to be honest with yourself, then first you in between, make shifts. I would not say that never watch it with subtitles. No, you can watch sometimes with subtitles, but most of the times without subtitles.
Super.
Yeah.
So, in this journey, a lot of people wants to go overseas and get their education done. That we were talking about IELTS. So, what is the way to get good scores in that? Because a lot of people struggle
Mm.
getting or passing that. They know that that's a gateway for them to get minimum scores and go abroad. But वहाँ पे बहुत struggle होता है. So how do you what is the best way to do it?
See, scoring a good band in IELTS is not a rocket science or something. The same steps are needed, which we were talking earlier, for anybody who wants to learn English. Same way, you have to listen to some kind of authentic stuff, by the native speakers of English language. You just start to speak it with people around you. Start with the basics, like the introduction part. That if somebody asks me that, tell me something about you or something like that, introduce yourself, define yourself, you must be able to answer those questions. And then, of course, writing. Now, writing, I would tell you, struggling in English language. Then, of course, you struggle a bit in writing portion. You need more practice. And once you have reached a certain level, the mentor is going to help you out in telling you the extra steps which can make your performance a better one. So that is required. But if you know the basics of English language, then you just need the decorations. You know how to start my writing, how to add proverbs, idioms into it, how to make it look more beautiful, and how to conclude my writing. So this is how the writing thing works in IELTS. And then listening, of course, the listening test is very scoring. If you have listened to the native speakers beforehand and you have practiced properly. So this is not a very difficult test, IELTS, but yes, of course, but you need a little bit of practice to score a good band. And then later on, of course, if you want to go abroad, if you want to pursue your career over there, you want to study over there, if you get a good IELTS band score, then it becomes easy for you to go with the further formalities of your immigration and other processes.
Okay. Have you gone abroad, Rupinder?
I have visited, I visited Dubai, I visited Singapore. That's it.
Okay. Any situation there where you would have traveled? I mean, you are proficient in English, but your family members and husband, kids, and all that. Anytime when they spoke, you saw these real time challenges where they couldn't understand, or the people out there couldn't understand when you're speaking. Just an example for people to connect with how important proficiency is.
I'm very happy that you asked this question to me. Actually, this happened at Abu Dhabi.
Hmm.
So we were at a store, and after doing a little bit of shopping, I was into the next counter, and my husband was behind the on the first counter. So usually, like he understands English well, and when he speaks, he can speak English also. But that shyness that no, you are more proficient or something. So I was standing on the next counter, but my eyes were on him because he was interacting with that Filipino the person over there. So what I saw was that here my husband was there trying to impress the Filipino with his English, and there she was, even she was not fluent, and then she was replying. It was really amusing and a very funny situation. But what I liked about him was that he handled the situation very well because generally, like in Punjab, when he's here in our local town or he is working, he is not speaking in English.
Hmm.
Very rarely he get a chance to speak in English, but there he was very confidently, articulating everything. Want this one, no, this and that. So nothing shying away from any situation. I think the more you articulate and the way you try to convince the other person with your actions, and that is why body language, gestures, all these things are very important. So that was a funny situation for me, observing
Both of
from
them.
then.
But I like that, because your husband the entire duration did not try to pinpoint that, hey, your communication is bad, or humiliate the other person because of their language challenges.
He never does.
Yeah,
He's always
that's nice of
encouraging
him.
the person. Even if I prepare something without salt or anything, if I ask him how is the dish, and he would say, "Oh, fantastic, fabulous."
Yeah, yeah. Either he's very nice or he's very scared.
No, not at all. Not scared at all.
Okay, how do you teach somebody writing? Because you write blogs, right? So if somebody is interested in writing their journey, or capturing their moments, write a blog or something. How do you teach that? Because communication, okay, online में कर सकते हैं. You can teach them online. How about this creative writing?
Yeah. So if somebody is really interested in creative writing or wants to become a blogger, then the
Hmm.
first and the foremost thing is be natural, be your own self. Don't try to copy somebody's style or vocabulary or something. Be natural in your approach, and then like you just hold a pen notebook in your hand, and the way the thoughts move around in your mind, you just start to write them down on a piece of paper. Later on, you need to review your writing. Sometimes you need to review your writing for 10 times. You need to find synonyms for certain words. You need to come up with different sentence structure. From active to passive, you want to go, and sometimes you want to start with some kind of clauses or something. So this is all again a practice. You need to be honest with your own self, and then you need to put all your efforts into that. You cannot become a good writer overnight. Or if I'll tell you honestly, all these things are just eye washers that learn creative writing within 10 days. How
Hmm.
can somebody teach creative writing in 10 days? I've been practicing for all these years, and still when I read my blogs again, and I feel that, oh, I could only write this, I could have written it in a better way, or somebody has written a better blog on the same topic than me. So it's a process, it's like a journey. You keep on learning new and new things. But yes, of course, if you're a beginner, you just take up a topic, read about that topic, different sources you can rely on, then go for your own thought process about it. Don't try to, totally go with some opinion that, in this newspaper I read this about this topic, so it is like this. No, you have to have your own thought process. And then, of course, writing it down and reviewing it again and again. That helps a lot.
Okay. So, Rupinder, when you look back, okay, your journey till date, okay, बचपन से लेके अभी तक, how does it feel? And whom do you feel has been really supportive for you in the entire life to achieve whatever you want to do?
When I was small, I was a very shy person, very introvert. So I had a whole lot of imagination and a dreamy world inside my head. But when it came to, facing the reality and really talking to, going through the reality check and talking to the real people around you, I used to shy away. Of course, the first obstacle was average communication skills. So, but when I realized that no, this is something which is, it's a kind of hindrance, it's a kind of hurdle, it's not letting me move beyond. So then I started working on it. And then, if I particularly talk about English language, then my grandfather and my father, these two people, they were just after my life, that I need to learn tenses. Whenever my grandfather, he would visit us, he would, after having his glass of water or something, then bring your notebook, write these sentences 10 times in present perfect continuous tense. I used to feel very, irritated at that point of time. But when I look back now, whatever I know in English language, the proverbs and how one should deliver a speech and something that I have learned from my grandfather. And yes, of course, my father, because he is very proficient in English. So I learned this from them. And yes, my parents were supportive. And later on, see, when I got married, my in-laws, they could have stopped me from becoming what I want to become.
True.
No, they told me that I need to study. If I want to pursue my master's, I can. And then later on, I told them that I want to work. They told me yes, even for the startup. My husband was like, "It's your wish. If you want to go for a startup, you want to do something on your own, you want to go for a job. It's your wish." Then the decision making about my career and everything, the decisions are taken by me with their support, of course. So the family has been my backbone.
Good. So, Rupinder, we have some rapid fire questions so that we get to know you well. Okay, much more. So, are you all set?
When you ask me very difficult
Yeah,
questions.
yeah, they'll be very difficult. Okay.
So, okay.
So, yeah. So, one word that describes you the best.
Um, Describes me the best.
Just one word.
Go, go getter.
Go
I'll put
getter.
hyphen and make it one. Go getter.
Okay. Three words that describe your husband. आपको एक ही चांस मिला, but he'll have three words to describe.
Very supportive, very romantic, and very positive.
Superb. What's your favorite number?
4.
Okay. Then why?
I don't know. You just asked me. I just said.
Okay. What's
I don't have any favorite in particular. Usually 4 comes in front of me whenever I'm reading something or watching something. This 4 erupts from somewhere.
Okay. What's weekend like? So Rupinder के mind में जब weekend आता है, Saturday Sunday आता है, what are the things that come into the mind saying that ये weekend है, ये करना चाहिए, और what is that your family sees that weekend में Rupinder ऐसे behave करती है?
Actually, my mother-in-law wants that during weekends we should be, whatever things we have not done during the weekdays, we should be doing that, like arranging our almiras and like a typical mother. So, she wants that everything should be done in a particular way. Whatever works you were not able to do during the weekdays, you need to complete related to household and everything also. So, but I and my sister-in-law, what we decide is that okay, in this area, Mukeria, uh, we have hills nearby.
Hmm.
So we just plan out, okay, we'll go to the hills, for a small outing and all that. So we plan those things, and then, but actually, then mother-in-law has never said no to it. But actually, what as a good mother, she wants that the daughter-in-law must, arrange the things also in a proper way, and so that they learn this management. But in my mind, for weekend, it comes that I should go somewhere.
So Rupinder, you got married, right? So you've come from one family, you've gone to another family. What was one thing which your mother knows that रुपिंदर को ये बहुत पसंद है, ये इनके लगेज में जाएगा, ये इसके साथ ही जाएगा wherever she is staying? What is that one thing as an object? It has to be a thing which got packed. Everybody in the family knows this would stay along with Rupinder.
Actually, I had prepared some teddy bears.
Okay,
Like that
you
was my
made
first,
them?
yes,
Oh my
my
God.
first creativity. So my mother, I made them when I was in grade eight. I
Hmm.
learned during grade eight summer break and got married way after that. But she had kept them safely without even telling me or my siblings that those things are kept somewhere safely. And when I got married, and she just put that in my luggage. So those tattoos were there with me. That was a kind of prized possession.
Okay. If you have pets, or if you had pets, or would have pets, what are what are the names you would put for them?
We had actually a dog, but expired very soon. Uh, we
Sorry,
named our dog Spartan.
Spartan.
So I,
Okay.
Spartan.
And the name
So
got inspired from
from some movies, I think my husband brought
300, I
came
think.
up with the
Yeah.
name King of
Who
Sparta. Also.
who's your favorite entertainer? With respect to Bollywood or Hollywood, actor,
Jim
actress, comedian,
Carrey. Jim Carrey.
Jim
I
Carrey.
like the expressions, the faces he makes, and all that. I just love, and even I like Trevor Noah, the way he copies different accents.
Hmm.
So I like his talks also. Jim Carrey and Trevor Noah.
Are you very organized person, Rupinder, और घर में ये चीजें उधर इधर ठीक है, that's okay, chill मारो, बाद में
I,
करेंगे.
can, I cannot lie because family is watching. I'm not a very organized person, no. Not a very organized person, just an average person. I'll keep my things and then, I keep them openly on the table or something. And then I think that, okay, later on I'll pick them. So I cannot say that, no, I'm a very organized person. I keep my things so tidy and something. No.
Okay. You've been doing a lot of social service by helping coaching people, or mentoring them, guiding them, and answering their questions free of cost during this particular pandemic. Okay, this is like during this particular period you don't want to charge, but eventually, I mean, this is very nice thing. I really like what you're doing, but eventually, what is that? 2 decades or 4 decades down the line, what is that you want Rupinder to be known for?
Well, at present, as you also mentioned, I'm not charging. I don't get the courage to say this thing to anybody that you need to pay the fee to me or something. No, I provide them the advice, whatever they are stuck up somewhere. They need some kind of guidance. I guide them. And later on, like in life, if you want to ask me how should I be known or what should I be known for, of course, I want to have a chain of institutes. I want myself to be remembered as an entrepreneur and somebody who's helping people from the core of her heart and not just for money making or something. I know it sometimes seems that no, yes, कहने की बातें हैं or something, but I know this. Whenever I try to become something else, whenever I try to become more materialistic, then what happens is my soul it starts to get frustrated that no, this is not you. I've done all these things when I was trying to get promotions in job and everything, that I was putting my efforts throughout, but then I was also not being myself. Then I realized this thing on my own that no, this is not the path I want to pursue. And here, of course, I want to help people. I really want to come up with certain, strategies or ideas which can make it very easy for people to learn any language, to learn English language in particular, so that this phobia for English language it goes away from my students. And I want to come up with something that I want that I should be a mentor of many bloggers. So I should be, preparing many people who want to pursue this dream of blogging and everything. And if somebody wants to become a social media influencer, want to, prepare any kind of short YouTube shorts or a reel or something. Of course, I cannot help in all these reels where you just have to follow the Bollywood actors or the songs. I'm not talking about those reels, but something productive where they are trying to speak about a certain idea or something they want to explain to the world.
Super. So, last question. Most memorable thought from your childhood that comes in if somebody asks saying that most memorable childhood moment. क्या पहले सीन में आता है? What is that first thing that gets stuck into your mind?
As a child, I used to visit my father's native village. So we would go over there, roam around in the fields and everything, because we were from Ludhiana. We were residing in Ludhiana, so it's a city, with all this traffic pollution and everything. But when we would go to the village, the people also used to love us a lot over there. They would see कि शहर से आए हैं बच्चे, and the way we were dressed up and everything, and whatever English we would speak, for them it was like somebody from UK speaking English for them, and those were happy moments because people would invite us to their houses and they would say, okay, ye uski beti hai, okay, ye
Hmm.
uska beta hai, to my cousins, and okay, and my grandfather was known as Master G because he was a lecturer
Oh,
of English language. So the Master Ji ki granddaughter hai. And they would give us so many things to eat, something, and we would eat. And we used to sit very politely over there, very well mannered people. And once that eating and everything was done, and we would move out of that house, and then we would have all that fun. Oh my God, they gave us this, they gave us that. So those memories are still there with me, visiting those kind people.
yeah, those summer vacations and short breaks in the village. I think best
Summer
memories
break,
for everybody.
yeah, summer break, of course.
Super. Thanks a lot, Rupinder. Before we end the show, I mean, you did really well with the rapid fire questions. Before we end, the last question is what is that suggestion you have for one students out there, जो want not sure when to start. बहुत लोग सोचते हैं कि यार मेरा एज हो गया है, is it good to start classes now and all that. What will Rupinder think if I connect with her and she sees my profile picture and sees that ये तो बड़ा है, a lot of thought processes goes in before getting in touch with you. So that is one question. And any suggestion for people out there about women doing stuff, how women can support people or the nation grow? So maybe these 2 points and we can end the show.
The first thing I would say that be yourself. This is something which is, I have not said anything very extraordinary. We have heard this phrase many a time, but yes, it works. Be your own self. Don't try to copy anyone. Don't feel that if I follow a particular person and if I try to become like someone else, then that is something which I want to achieve in life. Be your own self, be natural in your ways. Whatever you feel like your intuition power, your own soul, your spirit, if you are involved in something like self-talk or meditation, you easily realize what your goals are, what your passions are, what your real calling is. Okay. So once you get that calling, be natural and pursue that field. And as far as women are concerned, of course, see from the past many years, actually, women have not been supporting women the way they should have supported. And I read somewhere that even this, spread of patriarchy, women helped into the spread of patriarchy. Had they helped each other, had they held hands with the same gender, they would have, worked a lot for their own gender. The women need to really support each other. Like mothers need to teach the daughters well and daughter-in-laws well, and this way we can really lean on each other's shoulders, and we can really come up well and do something positive for the society and ultimately for the nation, of course, because it is actually a true thing that the mother is your first and the true teacher, actually. So if the mother is confident, if the mother is clear about all the things and the way a child should be pursuing his or her dreams in life, then the mother can help in the most beautiful and profound way. So I feel that yes, women have a lot to contribute for each other's upliftment and also for the nation.
Super, super. Good one. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Rupinder, for joining us on this particular show and sharing your insights. We know you well. So, friends out there, if you are even hesitating a bit, don't do that. English is very important. It's just not to get through an interview. For you to grow in an organization, it's very important that you're a very good communicator. You just don't want to be at the entry level entire life. So you have to ensure that you have good communication skills so that your company feels that yes, he can handle a team well, he can communicate what the organization is thinking well to the team. So it's very important for you to grow anywhere. It doesn't matter which industry you belong to, doesn't matter which subject you have specialized in. Communication skills is very key for you to grow. So do get in touch with Rupinder. She is consulting with no commercial aspect. So you can take her suggestions, take her guidance, work on it. And again, there's no age limit. You can do this anytime. And yeah, do encourage Rupinder, because it's also very important that we encourage super moms like Rupinder to achieve their vision of Vision Upgraded. And all the best, Rupinder. Do well. Uh,
Yes. Thank you so much.
Wish you lots and lots of Vision Upgraded centers across India, because the vision what you have is really clear, and anything which is like in a non-commercial aspect where you're truly helping people would definitely be successful. So do well. All the best. I'm sure the two kids will be really happy, confident to see her super mom after 10 years on with her achievements. So thank you, friends. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Rupinder.
Thank you so much, Raviji. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a great day.